Hi, this is Attorney Mike Garland coming to you from Chicago as usual, and today I've got a fun one. We're going back to visit our old friend Russell J. Gould in a little something we're going to call Russell J. Gould number 3. Yes, that qualifies him for his own playlist. Oh, last time we saw Russell, he was court-martialing his good friend for having a heart attack. This is worse. Let's do it. From the secret headquarters of the Sovereign Citizen Patrol, initiating video production sequence. We are no longer playing. So let's get revved up. It's time for Law Talk with Mike.
As many of you know, I became Chief Judge of the U.S. Supreme Court on October 4th, 2004.
Whoa, wait, time out. Nobody knows that. That's crazy. And so is your hair.
But due to the latest scams that are being perpetrated upon the people, such as the fake presidential election of 2020, on November 3rd, 2020, I had to prepare the court for probable or possibility of settlements on this fake election that's coming up. So, as Chief Judge of the U.S. Supreme Court on September 17th, 2020, I filed this contract here with the U.S. Supreme Court on 1 First Street.
Wait, just look at that seal. Look at this seal. It says Russell in the middle of it. It's beautiful. I mean, where do you go to get one? Oh.
Northeast Washington, D.C. And it was my contract on terms of what makes the Supreme Court a foreign vessel in dry dock, what makes judges judges.
Nothing makes the Supreme Court a foreign vessel in dry dock. That is just wrong. That's all there is to it.
My Supreme Court judge's oath that's on file there, and all the complementary accoutrements that come with running a court.
Ooh, complimentary accoutrements. Russell's getting fancy.
And these documents were received due to the fact that on October 4th, 2004, that the U.S. Supreme Court judges vacated their judgeships at in Washington, D.C. at the U.S. Supreme Court. The reason why I'm bringing this out right now is in this contract that I just mailed out is my pocket hyphen judgment, my Pignus hyphen judgment, and I'm maintaining the rules of the continuance of the evidences as a chief.
His what?
Judge. That is one of the most valuable things that we do to maintain the continuity to complete a case from beginning to end under service of the methods and methods of the service. So I'm giving closure.
Oh yeah, under service of the methods and methods of the service. That makes it perfectly clear for me.
To the world that on September 17th, I filed my contracts back in the U.S. Supreme Court as Chief Judge, simultaneously under a lot of national security concerns. And so the case itself is sealed because of national hyphen security in compliance with RR 294-568-221 U.S. Simultaneously, the U.S. Supreme Court received that on the 21st of September, and so the 3-day rescission was complete at the end of the day on the 24th of September of this last year, 2020. The reasons why I'm bringing this up is, as many of you know, after my Supreme Court becoming Chief Judge, I ended up conducting the largest military court-martialing in the history of planet Earth.
I'm not sure if he's referring to his court-martialing of David-Wynn Miller, but I've got a video on it. I'll put a link to it in the description below. And it'll also be on the playlist.
And that was corporation-case RR 385-460-312 US. And in that filing of that court-martialing, I filed a contract shutting down the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives. And
oh, that's awesome. They've been making horrible decisions for years. I'm glad somebody put a stop to it.
To show that document right down here, this is they put their seals on the back of each one of my pages, and this was a letter I received from the government printing office.
Oh, look at that!
And this is in paragraph 7.
Wait a second. He's got a letter from the government printing office. He's got to be legit.
Please keep in mind, for those of you who are watching this technology of style of syntax and correct communication, parsing syntax grammar, and quantum math grammar communication dialogues methods was a style that I'm grandfathered in on, so I can have the right to stop and correct and improve the grammar. But because I was first in line, first in time, there's no one out to actually have any say about how I am conducting my court martialings, how I'm conducting my court at the U.S. Supreme Court, because
yeah. So he's basically the grand dictator of all time, and he can do anything he wants. He took over this pointless concept from David-Wynn Miller. Then he court-martials him to get him out. Now he's a self-appointed grand poobah of the world on all fronts. And he's kind enough to explain it all to us right here.
And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, or the dogs get it.
None of the people in the quantum community were even around when all of this happened. So under grandfathering and first architect, I'm in position as the creator because I built the construct of the U.S.
You weren't the creator, buddy. I mean, I wouldn't be proud of it. It's that you wouldn't want to say you created this nonsense, but you didn't. You just actually ripped it off from David-Wynn Miller.
Supreme Court. The reason why I did that is because the Constitution of the United States were the guidelines for setting up a judicial system as well as elect a president. But it was
it's funny, that's what we use in the United States too.
the banking charter that was coming off a 70-year moratorium of bankruptcy coming from October 29th, 1929 under a 7-year tranche. And in that rules and continuances, it vacated the Constitution, or the guidelines, which was the Constitution for setting up a judicial system, as well as setting up a president, were vacated because none of the founding fathers who wrote the Constitution were there to maintain the rules of the continuance of evidence, which must be maintained as a judge, postmaster, banker, for the collateralization to move the Constitution to set up a foundation for the construct of a court and a construct of a presidency. Because of that, and because I've maintained the rules and the continuity of the postal hyphen government and maintained the rules
the postal hyphen government. Oh, do go on.
The continuance of the evidences, I have filed my document.
It's just evidence. That's you don't plural evidence with another
in, so that if there is a fake presidential election, because I disqualified the Federal Elections Commission, all that evidence is bonded within the vessel contract simultaneously under what's called the director's hyphen party. So I wanted to give publication to the world of the things that's going on. So when you see a lot of the
you wanted to give publication to the world of the things that's going on. And the things that's going on is he is in charge of everything. Thank you. Thank you for the notice.
Hocus pocus that you see in all the fake news, right? That there's an actual Congress. This is all fake. You can see the proof of the documentation down here of where the Senate has contracted with me to shut down the House and Senate.
I highly doubt that. But if you've got it there, let's see it.
So they could no longer pass legislation against we the people. The really cool thing about this is now the people are their own legislation. You're your own capacitor. You're your own sovereign. But you must have your grammar correct as you negotiate and know how to negotiate and travel from point A to point B. This is where you've been caught up in the shipping construct under this postal.
I admit I've been caught up in the shipping construct most of my life.
System that we've all been caught up in. And so I've rewrote the guidelines worldwide for space cognition, as well as simultaneously claiming symbolisms and hieroglyphics through my global hyphen bureaus of the
Ooh, we've moved on to hieroglyphics from quantum grammar. What can't he do?
Weights and measures for measurement of matter and measurement of grammar and communication here today, which allows me to be the first architect of this whole quantum banking system and the whole things that we see rolling out here. Now we see a lot of knockoffs, a lot of fake tries, quantum financial system, which is an adjective pronoun. People are trying to steal my concepts again, but
don't fall for the knockoffs. You want the official McCoy. You want Russell J. Gould crazy. Except no substitute.
The concepts are for the people, and they're for your sovereignty and for your capacity to learn correct communication, parsing, syntax, grammar, learn about quantum grammar and the mechanics that come with that, and then be accountable for that and be your own autonomous government, where we no longer need the states, we no longer need the federal government, because they're kind of moving to the backdrop. Then they're no longer in your world of manifestation, so they become something that really doesn't matter anymore, just a figment of fakeness that we've walked through. And the sovereignty, of course, is all in the blessing.
All right, so we just ignore government and walk through it now? That seems a reasonable plan. What could go wrong?
Things are all upon the people and their capacity to communicate and get along, and rule one and rule same. Unfortunately, there are a lot of technical things that I've said here today that are issues.
Wait, are we talking about rule one or rule same? You've got to pick a side, Russell.
Of national concerns of the national security, so I don't give those out to the public. But the governments of the world know precisely who I am, because I've filed my documentation. I have contracts in those specific locations to maintain those secrets of the national hyphen security, to keep, number one, the citizens safe, the land safe, the soil safe, as well as the militaries and the governments of the world. So at this time, this date is September 28th. 2020, and I just wanted to give status on the current status of the U.S. Supreme Court, what's actually happening. This is all a pantomime, what you're seeing in the fake news, but the good news is that we're going to make it better, and so truth wins. And as we make it better together, as you learn about what I've done, and to move those fake news and those scenarios into the backdrop, so it's no longer part of your world. At that point now, you can be your own creators, your own sovereigns, your own generators, but you're going to see performances by me, because I'm grandfathered in as first creator of the system, to articulate and give closure, to show the world that there is no Supreme Court, number one.
You just told us that you were Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Now you're telling us it doesn't exist. Which is it here?
There is no presidential election, number two, and that the contract itself and the style of grammar on the contract gives you now time authority, and the fee
now time authority. That's what I've been waiting for. I want some now time authority.
For freight for postage is now also conveyed through my quantum postal system, as well as my my galactic postal system, which I've published in.
Oh no, he didn't. He just said he has both a quantum postal system and a galactic postal system. I mean, what do you? I don't know.
2007. So thank you guys very much for your time here, and please feel free to share this video with your friends and family, so you don't have to fall into the destroy the country style of thinking, because there is no president. There is no election going on. This is all just a pantomime of fakeness, and it's up to you guys to put that into the backdrop and move forward in your sovereignty, in your world, in your life. And thank you very much. My name is Postmaster General Russell J. Gould. I'm Commander-in-Chief, as well as the Chief Judge at the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. Doesn't get any more authoritative than hearing it straight from the Commander-in-Chief, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, and Postmaster. Oh, in all seriousness, if anybody has any idea of what Russell is on about, please put it in the comments below, because I got nothing. I got nothing out of that whole event except a couple laughs. Here at Law Talk, we like to have fun with silly stuff that happens in court, and every once in a while, and completely by accident, I assure you, you might learn something. Thanks for watching.